Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of GDQ Hotfix shows. Tonight, we have a very cool episode of Game Over. I am your host of Game Over, Regal. Game Over is a show where we like to put on speedruns of games that are either known for their high level of difficulty or games that are being played on a higher difficulty level than normal, sometimes with an extra self-imposed challenge to make things interesting. Tonight, we have two games that are certainly known for their difficulty in Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2. First up, we have Dark Souls 3 All Bosses being run by Matt Apocalypse. That should be very cool. There's some new tech to show off in that run that they have incorporated over the past year or so. So we're excited to see that. Then after that, we have Nick Stiles, who is going to be running Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, any percent restricted. So that should also be pretty cool to check out. But first, like I said, we have Matt Apocalypse running Dark Souls 3 All Bosses. Matt, why don't you take it away for us?
Hi, Regal. Thanks for having me. We're running some Dark Souls 3. You tuned into Oops, You Died last week. You may have seen a familiar run. We're gonna run it back. I got a redemption arc to get through, so we're gonna do all bosses here.
Matt, by the way, can you share your game?
Is it not sharing?
I don't see it.
Oh. Hold on a second. I forgot I restart the game.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. We got it. I got you.
Okay. So we're doing the old all bosses run. And we run this on patch 1.12. It allows us to do some funny business that lets us win the game. And so let me get right into it then. We start with Assassin. Our burial gift is the Fire Gem. Appearance doesn't matter. You can do male, female. It doesn't matter. I always have a custom avatar, so nice and pretty. Anyway, well, are you ready to get started then? Or
I'm ready
to go?
I think chat's ready too.
Yeah. I just want to mention we have a night of Brazilian natives.
Yeah,
so
this is the Brazilian Dark Souls marathon right here.
All right, so I'll count it down. Time will start when I hit yes on the character creator. So I'll just do 3, 2, 1, yes, and then we'll go. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. All right, so right off the bat, we're going to remove the helmet and the chest piece. That's going to give us under 30% carry weight, which unlocks light roll. I'm going to do this frequently throughout the run where when I'm doing long running sections, I'm going to remove enough armor or equipment to ensure that I have light roll enabled for any rolls I do off of when I'm running, any roll I do, I want the long roll. So as here, so whenever we land, we're going to get a light roll and we'll go the maximum distance. And over the course of the run, we do it quite a bit. So it's going to save time. So instantly, we're already at the first boss. This is, I'm going to call him Ludix Gundyr to trigger some people, but we start this off with 5 hits. Wait, hit him 2 times. This pattern, we do a parry, and then we do a charged 2-handed R2. All right, and ideally we want to trade here. And then he should stagger, and this should be a 1-hit kill.
Nice. I think it's interesting how different the Gundyr fights are between categories, even though you use like the same exact gear, just because of the patch differences.
Yeah, it's mostly different on just the any percent patch, the 1.04.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He takes a different amount of damage, but the rest of them are pretty similar. The other categories use fire bombs, but in all bosses, we start with the fire gem, which means we just gotta slug it out with the S-Stock. And I forgot to do this, but I'm gonna do it before I accidentally... Oh, I did drop it. Okay, good. I'm supposed to drop the S-Stock right away so I don't fumble menuing. So I had to make sure so I don't accidentally fire infuse my S-Stock and cry myself to sleep tonight. All right, so we are going to fire infuse the short sword, and we're going to allot our Estus to no blue stuff because I hate Baja Blast. Not really, but
that's an
no blue
expert
stuff.
Dark Souls 3 move. No blue stuff.
And then we're immediately going to go to High Wall of Lothric. So I bought a dagger and a short sword. The dagger is going to be useful when we get to a certain point in the run, and the short sword is just to bully our way through the first part of the game here. If you see my items in a weird slotting order, it's mostly because of habitual menus usage. So I have a bunch of menu inputs that I've memorized, and to ensure consistency, I try to put everything in the same spot. We do a little bit of a animation cancel there. We do a plunge off a ledge, which is kind of neat. It gives us some forward momentum while also absorbing the fall damage a little bit. These guys are kind of a meme. They can kill you quite easily. They're the meme squad. So we're gonna do one of our first tricks of the run called ladder warp. I'm going to cancel my climb animation here. I'm going to quit out because I missed my cancel. This is a 2-frame trick, so what I'm doing is I'm inputting a pivot and inputting the climb animation around the same time. And there we go. I got it. So the game thinks I am on the ladder, but I am not. And I'm going to pick up these throwing knives as they will be important shortly here. And when we quit out and load back in, because the game thinks I'm on the ladder, I'm back over here in front of the ladder.
Incredible.
So there's some intense things you can do with this ladder trick, but we'll get to that later.
How did you, just for people that aren't aware, how can you tell that you have the ladder state stored? What are the indicators that tell you?
There's 2 ways you can tell. I can see a visual cue, which my character kind of slightly moves in front of the ladder. But the way you can absolutely know for sure is that it grays out certain items. Like the items that you cannot use on a ladder, they will all be grayed out.
Yeah. It's kind of like a debuff effect, honestly, when you have ladder storage. Like, you just can't use a lot of things.
But
oh, nice.
There's a few things that you can use on a ladder, which is kind of interesting. You can use Estus, and you can use, like, green blossoms. I'm not sure what else you can use on a ladder, but so you retain the ability to use those kind of items. So another trick's coming up. I'm going to drop these resins here. And I have a fire-infused short sword, and because of that, I'm not allowed to put resins on, kind of, as I apply a lightning resin here. All right, so I'm setting up Vort to stagger him here.
Nice.
Spooky. Anyway, so he staggers on the 15 hit, but you have to make sure you plan your hits around his phase change, and then you stagger him, so you minimize your time in phase 2. Depending on what he gives you after the stagger can determine how the fight's going to go. He did the charge there, so I let him charge and then finish the fight afterwards. If you get a certain pattern, you can kill him before he does anything in phase 2, but we weren't that fortunate this time, but that's okay. So I'm picking up the alluring skulls here. We're going to use that to safely get past some doggies later. Everyone loves Dark Souls dogs, and the dogs in this game are very, very special.
They're the most lovable ones, right?
There's a certain size dog in this game that is spaghetti coated in, and when he's off camera, he has a messed up coating that teleports him behind you. So it's very fun, and you'll see some funny things even on your casual playthroughs where they like teleport on top of your head and stuff. They're quite fun.
There's some really good clips of bosses teleporting into, or dogs teleporting into boss rooms in this game.
Yeah, I made a compilation of funny dog business on my YouTube channel. Insane plug, sub to my YouTube. Anyway, here's a fire resin. We're going to use that to bully Greatwood later. We're just doing a little bit of running here. Still at under 30% for the light roll. And there's another important item we have to pick up here.
There's not a lot of difference between the mid roll and the light roll in this game, but you do notice how much further you get on the rolls if you've played the game enough.
Yeah. As far as iframes go, they're the exact same.
Yeah.
But distance-wise, it's minute, but it still saves you a little bit of time over the course of a long run. So we're going to bait this guy out. He's kind of a menace and will block me if I don't get him out of the doorway. And I do that by healing, and I assume he input reads because he typically runs at you when you use an item there. We're going to do another animation cancel to store the item in memory, per se, here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to unequip, and I'm going to drop it because we're going to duplicate it this way. This is the same trick I did earlier. I didn't fully explain it, but I'm, in a way, duplicating my resins while also illegally applying them to my fire-infused short sword.
Illegal.
And that's going to give us giga damage against big old Greatwood here.
Trees are weak against fire. It makes sense.
Sheesh. I was scared. I thought the hollows were going to play zone defense on me. And as you can see, the fire damage is insane.
Oh yeah, you have like 2 buffs of it at the same time.
Immediately melts. All right, so we bone out here. If I was doing regular PB runs, we would be doing game time, but this is a showcase, and typically we do real-time attack, or RTA. So it's a little bit of a different strat here, but it's safer, and it's
you usually do like
faster.
a quit out there on the boss death, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to the gargoyles quit out you guys do in Dark Souls 1.
Right. But instead,
not as tight though.
For an RTA strat, you're just boning back.
Yep.
Oh. Nice.
There's weird collision around this corner, and sometimes
I like, canceling out the RTA time save by just quitting out again.
I missed my jump. There we go.
Nice, there you go.
All right, so before you kill Greatwood, this guy's friendly and he lets you warp down there, but after you kill Greatwood, he's very angry. All right, but this strat is nice and comfy because it avoids this bridge back here, and that bridge is not very nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to do another cast of Spook here, and we're going to do another plunge boost off of the elevator. And we're going to say hi to this Boreal Knight.
Is there like a, I don't know, foolproof way of getting past this enemy without like having to dodge it or what?
Depends on what he does.
Yeah, you just have to like pay attention to him, I guess. I always found it annoying running past this enemy.
There's one attack you have to dodge. The rest of his attacks you can just run past.
Okay.
We're coming up on a pretty big skip here. And if you're a fan of Dark Souls 1 speedruns, you might be familiar with Sen's Fortress or Sen's Gate skip. This is essentially like the same idea. It's a death cam skip.
I think this one's probably a lot more annoying, though.
Doesn't require baiting an enemy.
Yeah, but the enemy's pretty consistent.
Oh.
And you don't have dogs trying to bite you while you're trying to do it.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm going to run into a hole and then jump out of the hole and trick the game into thinking that I'm going to die from a deadly fall here.
Nice.
And
nice.
As you can see, the camera is fixed above. Well, it's flipping, but it's in a semi-fixed vertical position here. I'm moving like a tank. So if you're familiar with old Capcom games, holding like up moves me forward, moving left and right turns me like a tank. And some weird, funny business happens if I hold the down direction. But in this fixed position here, the game no longer activates load triggers. So assets are not going to load in. So if I just keep running indefinitely, I'm going to run off an edge. But there's a certain area that we're trying to get to. And even though the asset's not loaded in, it still lets me interact with objects such as doors. So before I quit out there, I opened a door, and it's going to be open, and I'm going to be on the other side of the door. And we're going to skip the Fair and Keep section entirely, so no fire extinguishing in Farron and no funny poison swamp.
I don't know if anyone likes that area anyways, so.
Yeah. Crimes against Miyazaki. We skip his poison swamp. So the next area we're running to is the Abyss Watchers, and that is directly after Fair and Keep, and this is the shortcut that you would get typically after extinguishing the fires, yada yada, dealing with poison. We still have to deal with these little spear grew guys. I'm gonna do a little bonfire quit out here. Shoutouts to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
A trick that was found in Elden Ring and causes the game to have as many quit outs as this game.
I think it's a little easier to do in Elden Ring. But yeah, it's like the same strat.
So the trick is you make it so your character turns slightly and it lets you open the menu. So with that, it lets you quit out, cancel the animation, and save some in-game time. But the reason I quit out there is because quit outs are a multifunctional tool in this game that allow you to reset enemy aggro in addition to many other things. So in order to sit at that bonfire, the enemy can cancel that. And so I quit out to reset his position so I can sit at that bonfire.
Yeah.
Here I quit out because there's like a million guys behind me and I need to do a trick. And if there's a million guys behind me, it makes the trick a little harder to do. So
I think
we're getting the full demo of quit outs here.
Yeah.
Because we're going to put ourselves in the corner. We're going to do this little sword trick, walk into the fight. We're going to quit out once again. And when we load back in, such an epic boss people love is going to be helpless.
Nice. Got it.
He is frozen in stasis.
I learned how to do this trick from one of your YouTube shorts, actually.
It's funny that I made you learn this via YouTube Shorts instead of just sending you like a full clip.
Well, I was like middle of stream trying to figure out how do I do this, and like frantically searching on YouTube, and it's like, oh, here's a mat tutorial. Surely this will work, and it did work.
That I make a little tongue-in-cheek kind of joke in that YouTube short, and people take it very seriously. It says like, casual runners should definitely do this on their runs. Like, no. And then people are getting mad about it. I was like, it's a joke, man.
Yeah, do that on your first playthrough, everyone. It's really not that hard, but if you mess it up, like you get like one chance at it, really, right?
Yeah. And you can get stuck in the fog wall and blah, blah, blah. All right, I got another precise trick here. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, I hate this skip.
I got him.
Oh, nice.
I was going to get destroyed there.
I learned how to do a lot of the skips in this game just for fun. I could not do this one. It made me so mad. I could not stand trying to get this skip.
You have to get in touch with your rhythm.
Oh, man. I could not do it.
I made a video about this skip, and I said you have to pass the rhythm allegations to get over the pot.
Jeez.
All right, so the reason I quit out there is those skeleton guys will destroy me. They are big herdy and they're big mean, so not a big fan of them. I'm gonna break the bridge here and we're gonna do another ladder warp. What I'm doing with this Soul of the Blood Wolf, I actually duplicated it earlier, and I'm gonna use it and then duplicate it again. And then we're gonna come down here and be like, well, what are you doing down here? We're gonna warp to the ladder. And I'm doing ladder warp at the bottom. I'm like, what good is warping to the bottom gonna do? Funny enough, there's this mechanic called stable ground, which the shorthand meaning is it's where the game saves your position. And there's no stable ground until you get inside of the dungeon area down here. So that whole entire bottom platform is not stable ground. So my stored position is actually on top of the bridge here. So when I load back in, all right, we're back on top of the bridge. So I did like a whole 17-minute experiment with that area because I was so dumbfounded by where the stable ground was.
I didn't know that it was so far in.
It's very strange.
Huh. That is surprising.
I don't know if I got the input there. So we're going to, once again, this trick, by the way, is called Tumble Buff. I don't know why. Apparently it's a DS1 reason.
It is, yes. Even though you're not tumbling, it's kind of like a historical name.
So there's a certain pattern that we go through when we fight Wolnir. It's pretty scripted. It happens really fast, so sorry if I didn't really explain it that well, but you do a certain number of hits on the hands and the bracelet, and he dies very fast.
So, like, tumble buffing is it's a thing from DS1 where you do, like, a jump or a roll input, which is, like, I guess the tumble, and you queue up buffing and you switch your weapon so you can buff something you normally can't buff. So it's kind of just become shorthand for using a glitch to buff a weapon you normally can't buff. That's what tumble buffing is.
We're just doing a little bit of shopping and menuing here. And then with all the duping of souls, we're going to get a big fatty 40 dex. So we're going to do Mondo damage now. We have a sharp twin blade +4. So a lot of these early to mid game bosses are absolutely going to get shredded.
What'd you say your upgrade level is?
+4, it's sharp, and my dexterity is 40.
Okay.
In addition to that, I also upgraded my Estus by 1, so I get 1 extra use. Psychopath world record runners never upgrade their Estus anymore, so they live life on the edge. It's a bit risky for my taste. Even on my PB attempts, I don't go that far. I still even upgrade my Estus just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
How much time do you save not upgrading your Estus?
It's not much.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 10 to 15 seconds or something.
Okay. That's appreciable, but there's a lot of ways that you could lose that time outside of just upgrading your Estus. These runs, these long wall bosses runs can be just all sorts of time losses that are out of your control. But I mean, I guess at least that one is under your control. So.
Yeah. But you can negate it by needing to heal when you don't have healing. It's really messy.
Yeah.
All right, so Sage didn't give me the nice attack, so I get to pretend I'm psychic here.
Oh yeah, how do you do this? How do you figure out where Sage is going to be in this scenario?
Well, it's a trade secret.
The trade secret. You won't give it away.
Okay, so you stand in a certain position after you force the teleport, and it gives 3 options of where Sage will go. The tell is the crystals that appear in the arena. So the crystals that appear will tell you exactly where Sage is going to go. This is specifically for phase 1. If you ask me about how to read the crystals in phase 2,
you don't know.
Idea.
Yeah, okay.
Ask a no-hit runner. They know probably.
So it's like positioning based to influence it, and then you watch where the crystals appear, and then you know.
Sorry, there's dogs barking in my ears.
This is a dog moment right here.
They're being, I think, nice. Oh, there was a teleport. Let's see if we get another one. Oh, no, we're good. Oh, nice. Whew. Yeah, I know your mother has always warned you guys about the crystal readers, but don't worry, chat. We're not gonna go down an astrology route tonight. But yeah, so reading the crystals, it just takes a bit of practice. I originally learned this because, no-hitters, sometimes they have some secret semi-fast tech. Now, technically, it is slower when Sage doesn't give us soul mass, but we take what we can get, and consistency is king in this kind of run.
Sometimes it's nice to know the best way to deal with something slow instead of only knowing how to deal with the fast thing, especially for like a marathon run.
So that strategy is very consistent, but there used to be a strat where you can bait an attack, you can parry, which is also
that's
fast.
What I remember.
But it's also potentially very damaging because you can sometimes wait upwards of like 30 to 40 seconds for Sage to pull his sword out. So instead of dealing with that for a potential 4 to 5 second time loss versus the fastest method, which is the soul mass kill, we opt for a 8-second time loss to ensure absolute consistency.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you just
it was a strat we started doing later. I believe DJ Natty was the one that started doing it.
And you just
maybe
deal.
Fool. I don't remember.
If you get a teleport, you just like whatever, roll with it.
Yeah. Doing the parry strat was rough, so I'm glad that we switched over to the teleport strat because it's a lot comfier.
That's what I remember is the parry strat, and then I tried doing it and I was like, man, I hate parrying in this game.
Yeah. All right, so up here we get to see what I bought the dagger for. So in the Cathedral of the Deep, there's this like weird sludge that's everywhere. It has something to do with like Aldrich or something. Maybe Vadi Video can help me or something. Tell me what this sludge is. But essentially, you have to like do this slow walk through it, and to bypass it entirely. Sorry, I'm listening for an audio cue. Okay, he's not throwing mud at me. Instead of going slowly through the mud here, we can quick step through it, which quick step is the dagger's weapon art. And it's much faster than doing this slow walk or fat rolling through the mud here. All right, so we picked up a Lloyd's sword ring along the way. Whenever our HP is full, we get a damage buff. So this is a very important item. It saves a lot of hits in many fights, so we always get it if we're gonna come through here. This is the Deacons. It's a very nice, blessed fight where we have to chase an orb around. So we have to hit these orbs out of the guy, and then sometimes the orbs don't play very nice, and also it to deal with all these guys body blocking, and it's a mess. All right. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. All right, so now that the Deacons have been taken down, we can enter Irithyll Laborial Valley, because normally you need a certain item from the Deacons to get through a invisible barrier here. So it's shout outs to Dark Souls 1, I guess, because there's also a small doll in that game.
It's a peculiar doll.
Oh, sorry, peculiar. I think it's. I mean, it's called small doll in this one.
It is small, I suppose, but the name is peculiar.
This unlocks Irithyll's access, which on my first playthrough I didn't even realize that I needed it, because I just killed the Deacons anyway and didn't know that there was a barrier in the way. But yeah, did you know? So I apply bleed here, break this monster's head, and the bleed saves some hits, so it's a quick kill there. And we're gonna run up to another skip. This area is a nightmare. There's just guys everywhere that kill you very fast. There's these like fire witch guys that burn you, and it's a mess. But through the power of speedrunner magic, we can ignore it.
Are you still at base fit right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Pontiff Knights will like one-shot me, I believe, or something. They hit pretty hard.
It's called Vigor in this game, right? That's so weird.
I think so. Because Vitality determines your like equipment load in this game.
Yeah.
So the railing in this game is just a suggestion in this area. And we just kind of go out of bounds, and we're skip a lot of running. But don't worry, there is enough running in this area, and there's a lot of spooky dogs. They're not very nice. There's these mages that are going to shoot like Farron darts at me or something. It's not a good time. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go through this little spider room here. Arachnophobes pay no mind. I guess they're not really spiders, but they're like...
they are creepy. They might as well be spiders. They are very creepy.
Okay, the spiders are gone. Don't worry. It is a arachnophobe safe stream again. And we're going to run past this guy who's taking a gander at Guinevere.
Looking.
Just looking there, enjoying the view. I equip armor here. The reason we equip armor here, because I know I said that we want to do running segments without armor, is because dogs are mean. And they will bite you. And in order to keep yourself alive a little longer in the event that they do bite you, you put the armor on.
And that's why you got alluring skulls.
Yes. This section right here is why we have the skulls. I'm going to keep the other one just in case I have to run through it again. which I don't think I'll have to. Once we get past Pontiff, I'm going to probably drop them. But yes, skulls, nice. On very fast runs, we don't get the skulls, and we just brute force our way through that area. And a lot of runs die there. This guy's just a roll. I'm going to roll safe measure here. Make sure my equipment's good. Regain my stamina at these 3 pews. Swap to my parry shield. And parry this guy. And that's
Easy.
Pontiff Sullivan. I
You really do tear through the mid-game bosses, like, quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. There is a certain YouTuber, I think on GDQ they call him Tomato Angus. But he did a video on Dark Souls 3, and he kept calling Pontiff Sullivan. And he says it a lot in the video. So whenever I see Pontiff, I think of Sullivan.
Yeah, he may have done that completely on purpose, knowing him.
And he probably did. But it's forever burned in my brain, so thanks, thank you for the Pontiff Sullivan propaganda. My chat, whenever I get to Pontiff, not every time, but very frequently, they like to meme me and remind me that at one point, Pontiff was supposed to be the final boss of this video game. Did you know that Pontiff was supposed to be the final boss of Dark Souls 3? Mind-blowing information.
I did not know that.
All right, so we quit on this lever because it's the longest elevator of all time. I mean, there's longer elevators in this game, but this one's pretty long. I'm going to pick up the Ember right next to this little lever here because I might have to use it later.
So, fun fact is this elevator exists in DS1, but you cannot, it's like one of the only elevators in the whole game that you cannot quit out to speed up the animation. It just resets to where it was. So you have to like wait for the whole thing. In fact, there's like speedrun tech to prevent you having to wait on it by jumping off and resetting its position. It's annoying.
I'm going to get a safety bonfire here because if I somehow mess this up, it is a long run back. And the simple response is simply don't mess up. But,
Yeah, don't die.
You know, because I'm doing safety, I might just die anyway, but, you know, well, we'll see what happens.
Just to show off what it would look like if you died.
If I died. Very possible. But this funny Aldrich muck is here again, and it allows you to avoid fall damage for some reason. I don't know why. It just does. Body video, help me, please. Give me the lore implication. I'm going to quit out here to make sure that these deacons do not fireball me or jump on me and kill me in a practice run. The fat one just jumped on me and killed me the other day. It was really crazy. I've never seen it happen before. So now I'm even more scared of this area to do no quit out. But we're going to do a trick. Shout outs to Elden Ring again.
Shout out to Elden Ring.
Thank you, Elden Ring, for finding this skip. This boss used to be very annoying to fight. But now, I can just hit him. I don't do anything.
Super easy to do. This was like a strat that was co-opted from Elden Ring from when it was first released on the Godskin Noble fight in Volcano Manor, where you kind of just line up just outside of like the range of the fog wall at like the very edge of it. to prevent triggering the AI. And I suppose it works pretty much the same way here.
I don't know if you had to do this in the Godskin Noble thing, but we have to backstep for some reason when we enter the fight.
I don't know why that is.
I think in the Elden Ring skip, they would like hang out by the fog wall.
You have to hang out a little bit, and I'm not really sure exactly why, but there is some weird stuff going on with like where you have to hang out by the fog wall for extended period of time, but not super long.
All of the Miyazaki games, Dark Souls 2 was a different engine, but all the Miyazaki games, they more or less work on the same engine. There is like minor differences between them. I'm going to listen for an audio cue here. Okay, we're good. There's like very minor tweaks here and there between the games, but whenever a new trick gets found in any of the Miyazaki games, the rest of the like communities check to see if
hey, does this work on your game? You know, we found this thing on our game. Does it work on yours?
So
and a lot of the times it does, but
time.
it might work, but it works in a completely different way as well, which is always interesting.
Like, for instance, originally, we've always known that ladder warp existed in this game, but we had no way of triggering it. And then the 2-frame gap tricks were found, and then we started implementing it in runs. But beforehand, the way we used to do ladder warp is like by having an enemy hit us or by running off an edge and all this other crazy stuff. It was way inconsistent. But now with the new tricks, it's consistent.
And like we just found out how to do ladder warping in Dark Souls 1 because like we couldn't do it any of the ways that the other games did it, but we found our own special way.
All right, he didn't give me the nice attack, so we're going to not do a funny ladder skip, which is fine. It's like barely faster on.
Is this a good time to get in a quick announcement, Matt, while you're running to the bus?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right, so Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. Visit gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply. Also, are you a streamer with a community that loves to support charitable causes? Apply to become an SGDQ ambassador. Join our group of creators that will be raising money for Doctors Without Borders this upcoming June. Selected streamers will raise money for the charity and have the chance to attend the event as guests of GDQ and MSF. Use !SGDQ ambassadors in chat for more info and apply by April 27th. Back to you, Matt. Just in time for the bus.
All right, we're headed into big ol' Yormy boy here. This guy's so weird he has feet on his chair, but we're gonna kill him with the Storm Ruler in this fight as he graciously gives us in the boss room here. It is like a gimmick fight, but we charge Storm Ruler, and if you hit the head, he actually gets a longer stagger, which is really nice. I got the head hit there, and then this is gonna trigger his phase change. Next one's RNG, so he's either gonna stomp or he's gonna do his vertical slam. He does the vertical slam, which is good. I didn't get the head hit there, so I'm gonna regain some stamina and roll if he stomps. And this finishes the fight.
Nice. Getting those head hits can be really annoying for this. Or maybe I was just bad, honestly, because it's not like I ran this game for very long. But I had a lot of issues like hitting Yorm sometimes.
It's tricky. If you stand on the cups, the Storm Ruler will miss. It's a weird. It's a weird designed mechanic. So I popped a soul and I'm going to dupe it immediately here. And then I'm going to apply a bleed resin while Emma's yapping. Switch to my shield, pick up the item, and trigger the fight. So this is Dancer. I'm going to count my hits here. 6.
Nice.
All right, so I have to count my hits because we do too much damage. So if I get to hit 7 and Dancer's not in the middle of an animation, she will phase change. So I wait for her to do something, and that lets me stagger her and regain enough stamina to keep my DPS going while she's phase changing, and then while she's spinning, I can quickly finish the fight. So sometimes being too damagey is a detriment.
Yeah, you kind of like, there's definitely a lot of times where you want to like plan around a phase change in this game. Like you did that earlier with like Yorm.
Yep.
Trying to plan your stagger with him.
All right, so I did a bonfire quit out because there's a bunch of angry knights that are going to try and frame perfect hit me out of the invincibility frames, but I outsmarted them with my quit out technology. And then we're going to... So there's like a slight delay that you need to do here. So we usually just queue up a soul so we can just use it while casting Spook here. And it's like very optimized so that you have the perfect amount of time you have to wait there while also making efficient use of your time. There's like little places like that that are very nice in this game. It's very satisfying.
Did you know
so
that
I put on the assassin armor here because Toxic is built up and the assassin armor has poison resistance. So I'm going to take that off, but don't worry, I'm going to put half of it on specifically for this boss. So you can see that my health is kind of low. I haven't leveled up my health at all, but this armor setup I put on half the assassin set, half the herald armor. If Osiris does a certain attack, I will survive with exactly 1 HP.
I think I know what attack.
Dear Natasha, where have you gone? Are you hiding from me?
Interesting. This is technically a scripted fight, but he has to behave a certain way.
Oh, nice.
And he behaved, so I didn't even have to display that.
Yeah.
That 1 HP trick. So thankfully,
I wanted to see that. He has like this insta charge attack that he does. That's like really scary.
that's very rude.
I assume that's the one you're talking about, and you just have like resistance set up to not die to it.
Yep. So you technically cannot react to it unless you preemptively roll. So instead of preemptively rolling and being slow, I opt to just tank the damage and rely on my own ability to finish the fight with 1 HP. I mean, technically you can chug your Estus, but if you want to be fast, just keep fighting him. Trust in your ability and you will be fine.
Yeah, trust that he won't do it, but if he does do it, you're good.
Yeah. Believe in yourself. Okay, I'm gonna do like a little bit of an animation cancel here. We'll see if I get it. If you watched the race against Tricky, I had a funny time against this boss. But I'm here for revenge. All of this strat.
What was that roll in his face?
He does this scream that has like a hitbox that knocks you down.
Okay, I see.
So you have to roll the scream.
Because it looked like you're just rolling for no reason, but I guess it's like that actually staggers you.
Yep. So you have to roll the scream and then you strafe around his charge attack. It's a really flashy strat. That's why I love it. If you fail that fight, you don't get a nice fight and you have to sit there and bait a bunch of parryable attacks. And it's a much longer fight when you have to do that. So simply don't mess up and you'll be fine. I'm going to quit out to this Dragonfire. I think it's faster to technically roll through all of the flame, but I don't feel like losing all that HP. And this is fine. I'll eat the time here a little bit. I like having, you know, my Estus. It's very nice.
Yeah, that's one of the strats I never incorporated running this game. Is I just did that. There was like a teardrop setup where I would just like not trigger the dragon at all.
With pivot sprinting, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I did not learn to pivot sprint. That is a newer strat in this game that's kind of annoying to do.
Movement tech. It's pretty cool.
It is cool. It is cool to see, but I don't know if I would like to do it.
This is Dragon Slayer armor. It's kind of an RNG fight, but it's like controllable.
This is a really cool fight. Like the strafes look so clean.
All right, dude. Calm down there, Mr. Dragon Slayer armor.
That actually might be my favorite fight in this game. It's not like particularly hard, but it's just fun.
It's very satisfying when you know exactly how to strafe all of his attacks.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to quit out this door and I think we go to break.
Yeah, I think this is a good time for us to head to our break for the run. So we are going to go on a 5 or 6 minute short little break here. So everybody, if you want to go use the bathroom, get a snack, take care of yourself, get up and stretch, we're going to go and do that ourselves. But we'll be right back, like I said, in about 5 or 6 minutes. So stay right there. We'll be right back with Matt to finish the rest of the run. So yeah, see you guys soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from our break. We left in the middle of an exciting all bosses run of Dark Souls 3 by Matt Apocalypse. Matt, you want to go ahead and take it away and get back in for us?
Yeah, absolutely. We just finished the Dragon Slayer armor. I am at the bottom of the archives, the Lothric archives or whatever. Sadly, I won't be dunking my head in the wax. Big wax fans in chat. But yeah, I'm going to get into it and I'll count down from 3 and we'll restart. So 3, 2, 1, and we're back in.
Yes.
This is a pretty intense running segment here.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks scary, but if I do everything properly, it isn't scary for me. There's a couple funny things that can happen. We'll see if they do happen. I did grab the bonfire at the bottom to alleviate some of the pain.
So my experience,
it's still kind of intense.
My experience doing this with speedrunning is doing it while in a teardrop mode, and that's like just a very interesting way to maneuver through here. Where you have like gravity disabled.
Yeah.
But you still have all this stuff
unique.
shooting at you at the same time. Like, it's not bad, it's just weird.
Now, I said it looks scary, and it might look scary, but I have ran through this with intended sprinting and recharging my stamina to kind of bob and weave through all of these missiles and mages and phages and brawls and everything.
Fully scripted.
So it is a very scripted run through here, and I even heal here to go back to full. If you remember, it's important to stay at full health for the entire run because we do more damage. The times I'm not at full health, I'll explain why. But I could potentially die here. This gargoyle is a funny guy. But sometimes he's very nice and just flies off the edge.
It's still funny when he flies off. It's just not the same kind of funny.
He sometimes is sentient and knows when you're on a good run and will shatter your dreams. I call him the sussy gargoyle. These guys are funny. Of course, the mage will shoot the soul spear on a run. That's the one attack I have to listen for. I have to listen for it again. All right. If she shoots again, I have an audio cue that I roll to. But that elevator is a safety elevator, as if I happen to not survive this staircase or the boss at the top, it's a nice shortcut back.
Everyone knows no one's ever been hit on this staircase.
Yeah, definitely not me.
Certainly not during a GDQ run.
While talking smack.
Yeah.
Never has happened. All right, so we made it past the staircase here, and this is a pretty fun fight. It is slightly scripted, but still very technical.
This is a cool fight, yeah. Nice.
His AI is technically active here, but it's only triggered by vision or if I damage the big one.
Yeah. So that whole first phase, you're setting up to kill the first phase in just the right position to where you're standing in a place where the second phase will just not see you. Correct?
Correct. So for some reason, this little bug has been in the game since day one, and they never addressed it. I don't know why, but if you spawn, well, it's probably because if you spawn in behind him, not a lot of people know to just hit the small one. But the AI just triggers if you hit the big one. So I'm assuming that's why, because like even if someone plays for the first time and they're like, hey, why is he not moving?
It's
they're not
pretty unlikely
like,
that they'll. It's like a little precise, you know. Like even trying to like not hit the big one as like an experienced speedrunner, like it's easy to mess that up. So just imagine someone doing it casually, like pretty hard to keep that going. It might look funny for a second.
Yeah. A sneak 100 moment, you know, like where you crouch down in oblivion and the person instantly loses you. It's kind of like that, right? Okay, so we picked up some more items that let us get buffs and stuff later. And earlier we picked up this Path of the Dragon emote, and we're going to Path of the Dragon Fortnite pose on this rug here. And it's going to warp us to the dragon place that has a lot of snakes. But it's the dragon place. Or are they dragon people?
I think they're like trying to be dragons, but they didn't quite get there. I don't know.
But they're snack.
Yeah. They're like failed dragons.
They
or
tried to be
something.
dragon, but then they became Snek.
Yeah. I mean, snakes are cool. They're breathing fire. They're kind of doing it.
The reptilians. Let's see here. Okay, so this is another boss fight here. It's pretty funny. It has we abuse a certain property of this fight. It is a gimmick fight. And I'm still gonna do the gimmick, just not in the game's rules for doing the gimmick.
Nice. Very cool.
So if you played this game casually, you might remember running around this whole arena in order to do a funny plunge attack that has a chance of missing because the stupid wyvern will move his head. But I'm not going to do that. So I go up on a ledge and do a running R2 attack, which happens to be like a count as a plunge attack for some reason. I don't know why. Miyazaki explained. But it lets me skip running past all the scary snakes, and there's this really funny chain snake guy, which the skip is named after. It's called Chain Snake Skip. Some of you played this game may have been killed by that guy with the big chain climbing up a ladder. It's
I gotta say,
very annoying.
One of my least favorite names for a skip, because like, for what you do is just thinking about like, oh yeah, it just skips this chain snake. No, it's like you skip like the whole level. Like it seems to be like so much more than just skipping this one enemy.
Yeah, but the chain snake is what
I know he's
kills you.
annoying. He is annoying. But to me, just like, oh, chain snake skip. What? Why is it called that? It's understandable though when you try to do that because that guy is annoying. But yeah, that's a really cool skip, and it's fun to do casually as well. It's not too hard.
I did it with the short sword there, but don't be fooled. You can do it with... I'm going to sit because I was going to quit out anyway. You can do it with your fist. You can do it with the dagger. You can do it with the twin blades.
Does it work with fist? Nice.
Yeah, it works with your fist.
Yeah.
It's a certain attack animation that causes it. There's some weapons it doesn't work on. I don't really know off the top of my head because I only use the weapons it works on. But there's a specific running R2.
That's allowed in glitchless, right?
I think so. Well,
Okay.
It's been a while since I've ran
hope so.
glitchless.
Because it's like not a glitch, right?
It's an
Doesn't
intended
seem like
mechanic, kind of.
It's just-
an intended mechanic in a weird, unintended spot. So we're going to get 17, 18, 55 here. And this is on the way to put the ashes on. But on the way, we're going to talk to this guy, give him the Greatwood thing, and then with Champ Soul buy the Prisoner's Chain. And then we're going to try to cancel the animation of the Ember placements, which... as a pro, you know, I hit every time, of course. And we go run and do a little bit of shopping.
You didn't get the Aldrich one, though. Just pointing that out.
I got the Aldrich one.
Did you?
Yeah. Did I know? Now you're making me paranoid. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, no, there's one that's, like, really, like, a meme to get, right?
I
Is it
got
not
them
the
all.
Aldrich
Oh,
one?
like the Aldrich cancel. I know what you're talking about. The hard one.
Yeah, the meme one.
All right, now I understand. Now that one's stupid. We don't talk about that one. I don't even mention that one was included. All right, so in this black screen here, it still lets us use items. So I do a homeward bone back to last rested, and it just instantly puts us at the kiln of the first flame. And that's what's happening in that black screen there. To the unaware, you don't even recognize that anything happens there. But it for some reason, it warps you to a different version of the Firelink Shrine, and then you have to warp to the kiln, but I bypassed that altogether by just boning back to last rested. during the black screen, which for whatever reason it lets you do. This is a long running segment, so if you had, did you have announcements to do?
Yeah, sure. I can. This is a good time. All right. So, Summer's Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. Register to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonequick.com for more info. You can also join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for more info on that. And back to you, Matt, as you run through this amazing DLC section.
This is the Dredge Heap. If you've never seen this DLC before, these are intended falls here. So if you're wondering why I'm not dying on these long falls, it's because they're cinematic.
And
they are part of the theme. Yeah, and the most astute observers would realize this is a Dark Souls 2 area that we're running on top of. Hell, there's even Desert Sorceress here if you run through the area.
There is.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see the Desert Sorceress because I'm going to do a little skip here, promptly named Angel Skip. I mean, I'm still running with the angel shooting missiles at me, so am I really skipping the angel? You decide.
I still see the angel, so. Is this the original DLC patch or what?
This is the second DLC.
Okay.
So we do the second DLC first because there's a very good ring you get in the second DLC, and it helps us do cleanup in this game.
Well, there's like the original patch of the second DLC though, and the angel.
Oh yeah, this is the original
way worse
patch. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the annoying angel patch.
I don't think it's the super annoying angel patch, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, so we take a blossom here and then bundle. Dodge this toxic spit. Can't see. Whoa, what are you? Whoa! Easy there, guy. All right, so I'm gonna apply bleed and start hitting the boss while it's down. What that's doing is it's causing bleed to build up before the second part of the fight starts.
Nice.
All right, good fight.
Nice. So there is
Sorry,
like this. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When the second phase starts, there is a weird loop that his AI will get stuck in where he continues to spin. I kind of did it in phase one to both of the demons. He can break the spin and start behaving correctly, but we take advantage of this to get as much bleed buildup and damage in. And while we're doing that in phase two, we try to point the demon to do a back jump towards the door, so we don't have to run as far to chase him down. So it's very technical to get set up correctly, but it's much faster when everything goes according to plan.
This is a very infamous location. No quit out? Wow.
We don't need to.
The mad lad.
Normally we do like a series of quit outs here, 3 like in a row, and then
a lot.
people will who hate quit outs will resident sleeper me, but I don't have to, and this is fine. I will quit out here though. Just this once, and if I mess up ladder warp, I'll probably quit out again. But we're gonna do, I kind of alluded to this, but we're gonna abuse the ladder warp right now. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is where some of the really busted new stuff comes into play.
Okay, so I have to do this 2-frame trick again, guys. Remember, I'm just gonna say it's 2 frames, guys. It's not like Ocarina of Time where they have 1-frame tricks. Sorry, we're not that cool, but 2 frames is pretty cool, guys.
60 FPS though, so Ocarina of Time's like what, 20 FPS? And easy.
All right, so
that skip looks so goofy.
For some reason, ladders, I think I know why, but ladders let you clip through floors. My running theory on this, why it exactly works, is that you no longer have a vertical like collision when you are climbing a ladder. And so whenever you apply like a negative vector on yourself, it pushes you through the floor. And because you have no collision anymore vertically, it will just take you down. And vertically, I mean down, like pushing up against you, if that makes sense. So it lets you clip through the floor as long as something pushes down on your head. That's fine.
And that skip is like, how new? Like all these new ladder warp strats?
It's like been in the last year.
Last year, yeah. This is kind of an infamous fight for being quite annoying. All right.
And because we have ladder warps still active, we warp back. Sorry, I have to focus on that fight. Because it's very hard, but there is like a kind of combo that kind of really helps with that fight. And it makes it quote unquote smooth, but Half-Light is not what I would call smooth. So immediately when we warp back, we do ladder warp again, and we clip through this bush here, and now we're over here, and we're out of bounds, and we're gonna line ourselves up and sprint at this pillar here. We're gonna land on a statue, walk backwards, land on another statue, walk off, and do this jump here, and clip through this pillar, and
Pause.
there's a boss.
Nice.
That's Dark Eater Madeir.
I feel like these newer strats, these newer skips, they look a bit easier than the older ones. But, you know, I don't know how true that is.
They're a little easier.
A little easier. I guess you still have to do the somewhat precise ladder warp setup.
2-frame trick, Regal.
Nice.
that's Dark Eater Midir. It's a scripted fight, and if I do everything correctly, it's the same fight every time. I did everything pristinely perfect there, and I'm not even memeing. I got the maximum damage, the minimum amount of hits total, and it was a really good fight. You only get the script when you enter him for the first time. If you refight the boss, the script no longer works. So because we got this bonfire here, we can warp to last rested. We still had ladder warp active, so we had to quit out, go to the ladder, and then warp back to what's it called? Warp back to the bonfire. Sorry. I forgot the Dark Souls mechanic. They're bonfires. The most famous mechanic, the bonfire. I forgot what it was called. Now these bosses are rapid fire at the end. We're already running to the next boss.
This is quite a boss rush.
Gale. This is like the hardest part of the game too. So up until like the run gets very, very hard as soon as you enter DLC. And you could argue that the mid game is very hard too. But like the sheer difficulty of the DLC bosses compared to the early mid game bosses and all this stuff, it's night and day. All right, so we're fighting Gale here.
Oh.
He gave me such a good RNG, and I, decided to be a funny guy, but it's okay. Lightning. Ooh, okay.
That lightning seemed kind of unlucky.
Yeah, it usually doesn't trigger that early. So it's okay. We can just restart the fight. But it was going pretty okay for a second.
So you just have to deal with
I took some liberties.
Random lightning bolts like blowing you up sometimes. Yeah, that is the first game over of the run. So you're legally
required.
required.
Show off more Gale strafes.
Legally required to have at least one game over on the show. So that was just Matt meeting his contractual obligation.
This is a good fight, so I'm trying to show off all the fun tricks. I have to roll it. The lightning again.
I don't know. Oh, brutal
what
lightning.
in the world? Where was that lightning?
It was everywhere.
Well, I was like out of the lightning there, and then all of a sudden it was right there. Dang. Okay.
That's how lightning works, you know?
I didn't even see the dark spot on the ground. Holy cow. Anyway, I hope you guys like Gale.
I do
It's very
like
hard.
Gale. Gale's a fun fight.
is very hard, and like
The strafes are super cool. Gale Phase 1 is just a sick fight.
all right. So let me not get lightninged again. I even tried to avoid the lightning.
I know, I saw. Oh. Wow, the damage.
See, we'll even heal this time.
Oh. The lightning is like scaring me so much right now. Nice.
All right, we did it.
There we go.
Oh my goodness. So, that fight is very hard. I talk about this quite often whenever I run this game. There's this thing that runners do. We call it the Gale Vortex, where once you start practicing Gale, you will be stuck for the next 4 to 5 hours doing nothing but fighting Gale, because he is that hard. Because even when you can get through the fight, it's a matter of making it consistent, because you can survive the fight and you can be good at killing him and getting through it. But if you do not have the fight down consistent, you can lose like upwards of like 20 to 30 seconds because you have to manage the way he attacks and the way like he staggers and try to minimize any time loss based on the RNG he gives you. So the Gale Vortex is real. I kind of had some unfortunate lightning incidents. Of course, I was taking some liberties, doing a little risky, but we got through it.
Like, being able to kill these bosses is one thing, but in a speedrun context, trying to minimize all the time losses adds like so much more difficulty than normal.
When you first start running this game too, you won't even notice. Like, you're just trying to survive getting to the end of the run. And then when you continually fight Gale, you get to the split, you're like, hey, that was a really good fight. And then you look at like your compared best time and you're like, oh wait, I lost 30 seconds. That was a terrible fight. And you have to like really analyze like what happens to figure out where your time is being lost in the fight.
Sometimes you can't avoid the time losses, but you can do your best to minimize them, and that's really where the challenge comes in. And speedrunning these kind of games is minimizing the variance and how much time you lose, which can be really hard on some bosses.
So we're gonna do some more ladder shenanigans here.
Oh boy!
Oops. All right. This is to skip down to open up the Frida tomb thing and also get to Grave Tender. Thanks, Dist.
Now this looks a lot easier than the old version, for sure.
It is. Quotation marks, but yeah, I'd say mechanically it is much simpler. The real nice thing about this is it's forgiving is what makes it much better than the other Wilhelm skip. The other Wilhelm skip is difficult and unforgiving.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is like difficult, but you can just retry it over and over again.
Right. Yeah. The for anyone unfamiliar, the old skip that you would do to skip past the Wilhelm NPC and get to the Frida fight faster is like notoriously tough, but this one looks a lot better, I would say.
The real nice thing is it gives us this scripted Grave Tender fight.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. You just drop in right on top of them.
Wolves, please.
Actually, like, it reminds me of the Four Kings seal skip out of bounds. Like, dropping in from out of bounds in this spot, like, closer to them, makes it, like, the opening so much more consistent.
Yeah. All right, so Grave Tender's down. We have Ladder Warp, so thankfully we get to just run straight to Frida now. Because we opened the door earlier, so now we don't have to run through the DLC at all, and we can just do the 2 bosses, call it a day. This is another very, very difficult fight. I'm going to start the fight by throwing a throwing knife at her to try and close the distance. Oh. Oh. Yeah, first phase. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Throw a knife. Hopefully she does something. All right, she does. Don't do that. This is a 2-boss fight. And they share health bars, so I just focus on the big guy. Oh no, I didn't mean to take that. Oh well.
Did you use your green blossom?
No Blossom Cinder now. Where is Frida? It's okay, I can beat Cinder without the Blossom.
Challenge run. Nice.
Not a bad phase 3. Not bad. Alright, so I'm supposed to dupe the budding green blossom there and use the budding on Cinder, but I unfortunately kind of fat fingered it and didn't do it, but we'll be fine. I'm not gonna say I can easily handle Cinder without it. We're gonna pretend everything's okay.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself.
So the staff buff here, I'm actually doing a weapon art swap. So it's applying my staff buff to my sword. I think you should stagger. All right.
Nice.
I told you I didn't need it.
No, it was a super hard version of the fight. Good job.
Just a little less stamina there. Now, in that fight, we intentionally get hit to manage our stamina. We trade so that we can regain our stamina while still dealing maximum damage. So we miss out, and we also do it to specifically set up a hit count so that he staggers on phase 2, like I demonstrated there. So those hits on Cinder are intended. Now, on this fight, I might take trades, but ideally I don't want to, but sometimes Nameless is a funny guy and will optimally force me to trade with him. So we'll see what happens. On the first phase, we're going to do another weapon art swap with our staff, and we're going to do a lot of damage to the dragon here. All right, so we stagger him while he's doing that vertical slam attack, and he does it again. And then it makes this fight go super smoothly.
Nice.
So during his phase 2, he is forced into doing that slam attack. And if you stagger him during that slam attack, his AI just repeats the attack. And then after the slam attack, he does the big charge up lightning bolt attack. And typically we can kill him before he even gets there. Now we're running up to the end here. Old Demon King. We're gonna put this old Demon King down, and then we'll call time when I quit out. But this is the Smoldering Lake. We got this bonfire at like a very early in the run, and we're finally coming back.
Everyone knows the final boss of Dark Souls 3. Old Demon King.
The final boss of Dark Souls 3, Old Demon King. The reason we do it like this in this order is because of the warping menu. If I didn't get a couple of bonfires, the warping menu would actually end optimally on Cinder. But since I did get bonfires, we do this classic method of going to Old Demon King last. Now the armor here is relevant because we can take a trade here, and if we don't wear armor, we'll get under a certain health threshold for Lloyd's shield ring or sword ring. That's the trade. All right.
Nice, GG.
That's time.
Very well done.
All right. So in-game time, we use a loadless timer typically when we run this game. So it's usually much lower when we're using our live split loadless timer. In addition to that, we typically quit out on a lot of animations, which saves in-game time because on the speedrun leaderboard, we track in-game time versus real time. So with that said, that's pretty good. I died to Gale twice. Unfortunately, that's a very long fight, so I ate a lot of time to that. But other than that,
it was pretty good.
Remembering correctly,
I don't think you died to anything else. Like, I think it was just those like 2 Gale deaths. I would have known because it's game over, and like I always think, oh, there's a game over. I think it was just those 2.
So not bad, not bad. I'm pretty sure that doesn't take the marathon % world record again, but you know, maybe next time. Get me back on, Regal. I gotta get the marathon % world record.
Yeah, you can just come on and grind like PB attempts on my show. Use it as your outlet to get the world record for marathon %. Is that like a category extension?
It's a miscellaneous category we have on the secondary
just
leaderboard.
Abuse my show to get the record. That's a strat right there.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the speed run. It's a lot of fun. I have been running this game for like 5 or 6 years now. It's been a while, but I always come back to it. If you want to learn this, you can join the Souls Speedrun Discord. I'm happy to always assist in there when I can, as well as everybody else in the community. They can help you get started with all the resources and everything. If you want direct advice from me, you can always like come to my stream, ask questions. I stream on Twitch on this account, Matt Apocalypse. I have videos on YouTube that also can be helpful for learning this. More to come in the future. Special thanks to Regal for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm glad to have gotten a hold of you and get you on here for once.
How is the time looking?
I think we're probably just going to go to the next run. I think that was like a pretty nice time for
nice.
that.
I perfectly timed my deaths then.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly constructed.
All right, awesome. In addition to me living in Brazil, Nick here is a Brazil native as well. So, bora, Nick. Big Dark Souls 2, let's go.
Yeah, we have an all Dark Souls, all Brazilian feature of Game Over tonight. Except for me, of course. Not the Brazilian.
I mean, you're like the Swedish implant.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's all from me. So thank you so much again for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. That was an amazing run. So great to have you on. Thank you for showing that off. It was actually a pretty good run. Like, good job. That was awesome. Also, I want to make sure that everybody knows if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows or events like Back to Black and Frost Fatales, check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Also, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays. But other than that, stay tuned for after the break that's going to be coming up, because we have another amazing run by another amazing Brazilian speedrunner. We have Nick Style doing a Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, any percent restricted run. So that's going to be really exciting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yeah, stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Game Over. Next, we have a really, really cool run by another Brazilian, another Dark Souls run tonight by Nick Styles. This is going to be Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, not the original Scholar of the First Sin, any percent restricted. And Nick, do you want to go ahead and take us in and tell us what that means?
Hey guys, it's me, Nick Style. It's a pleasure being here again. And so, Regal, Dark Souls 2 any percent restricted basically means that we're going to finish the game as fast as possible. And the restricted part means that we are not doing any glitches like party walk. That is basically a flying glitch. And this flying glitch, as I know that you can imagine, allows a lot of sequence breaks. So this will be as straightforward as possible. No heavy glitches. Just like finish the game, holding W, going as fast as possible, and having lots of fun, right?
Nick, is there something wrong with your capture?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I see. I see now. I see it now. There you go. Cool. I think we're.
So, are we good to go?
I'm ready when you are. Is the capture still working on stream? Oh, there it is. We're good. We're good.
Yes. Should be fine.
If you're ready, Nick, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so just, guys.
Count us in. We can get into this.
Let's start this magical moment again in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Good luck.
Thanks, Regal. So, let me introduce you a little bit to the Dark Souls 2 speedrunning, the speedrunning history. So basically, as you guys might know, the Dark Souls 2 follows the Dark Souls logic, where you have to kill 4 lords, which are the main bosses of the story progression, in order to finish it. But in Dark Souls 2, they actually did a little neat trick. That is, if they thought like if the player gets locked and couldn't progress, what he's going to do. And they realized that it would be really good to put a safety measure. That is, if you get 1 million soul memory, you can go through the game to the first lock of the game, which is the Shrine of Winter. And speedrunners quickly realize that this is faster than finishing the 4 lords. So basically, we have 2 categories for the speedrun, the old souls and the any percent. Any percent being gathering this 1 million souls, and old souls being the route that you finish the 4 lords, right? And it's
kind of like the difference between like No Wrong Warp or something and like other games where you like actually have to go kill all those bosses.
Yeah. So basically, in this run, I don't want to spoil much, but I will be getting 4 bonfire ascetics. It's an item in Dark Souls 2 that allows you to put an area in New Game Plus, and all the items and bosses are respawned in that area. So I guess you can imagine a little bit what will happen, but we will see in just a moment. So here I am just sorting my items, so I have a faster menu. Nothing really.
The wait for this door to take forever to open from this lever here.
Yeah, it's perfect for doing some menus and using some healings. It's really, really chill.
Yeah, this game doesn't have as many like of the quit out strats to skip these animations as like the other Souls games would.
Yeah. Do you know why, Regal?
I kind of know why, but why don't you explain to the audience? Why there's not as many quit outs in Dark Souls 2?
So first of it, the way that IGT works for Dark Souls 2 is a little bit broken. It's attached with the FPS you have in game. So people quickly realize that it wasn't really cool to time with the in-game time, because people with a stronger PC would have like a game running faster than a weaker PC. And then they decided to time it as RTA no loads. So if you quit out, you are actually losing time because timer won't stop after the loading. And that's the main reason why we don't have as much quit outs in the game.
Well, there's also like less advantages of it, right? Like it doesn't like reset stuff the exact same way as it does the other games.
Yeah. So in other games like Dark Souls 1 and 3, and some others, enemies get the position resetted and stuff, right? But in Dark Souls 2, you only get aggro reset. So the enemies will be in the exact same place, but they will miss the aggro. So if it's like a creature that takes a while to aggro you, you may dodge it, but otherwise have no benefit of quitting out.
Also, nice bomb wall skip there.
Yeah.
Just totally get through that area.
Yeah. I'm gonna enter the first boss fight in this category. It's the last giant. It will be a breeze, hopefully. There's not much RNG involved. He is just super chill. He's always happy to see me, and I'm sure that you will be happy as well. The fight is actually straightforward. I will be running around his feet to bait some attacks and punishing as much as possible. The only thing that we don't want to see is jumps, because I cannot punish a jump, and makes me lose time.
Like when he jumps backwards like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is he's doing multiple times over and over.
Yeah, he is also happy of being here. He wants more screen time. And now I'm using Dark Sign before receiving the souls, so this way I can teleport and not spend any souls. Here is Melencha. She's in my opinion, the best NPC in the game. She sells the Bright Bug. It is one of the most broken items From Software ever did. It gives you more or less 20% of attack buff and defense buff. It's one of the most broken items ever did.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Like every Souls game has like at least one thing that's like super busted in it.
yeah. In my opinion, Brightbug only loses to Beast Blood Pellet from Bloodborne,
Yeah.
but is as broken as it can get. So here's Pursuer. I'm gonna cheese it. It's not that hard. You just need to run straight forward and run a little bit around the barrel and just go for the ballista, and he should be no worries. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Next, I'll be entering Los Bastillo, but I'm not gonna stay for too much. I'm just gonna get the bonfire and be warping back to Majula. I'll be back here later for an item, but it will be in like 20 minutes or so.
So is the I can't remember in this game. Is Last Giant?
Let's try.
Is there like a key item that you get from that boss, or is it like you need to kill him for souls? Like what's the route progression there?
Yeah. So Last Giant gives you the soldier key that opens the door for Pursuer, who have the nest to go to Los Bastillo, where I'll be getting Bonfire Ascetic later. But incredibly, Pursuer gives you Ring of Blades. It's a ring that increases like attack, and enough souls for you to buy the rapier, a mace, and some upgrading materials. So it's like basically the perfect
there's
thing.
There's like several different routes you can take at the beginning of this game, and like I'm not really sure what other ways you could go to achieve what you want.
Yeah, okay. So there is another route called it's called the 17K route, which is basically the most competitive nowadays. You basically do a glitch that kills Pursuer from out of bounds, and you get 25K. This is the minimum amount of souls that you need to do the buying round, like buying the rapier, upgrade materials, the cat ring, and some skulls and bones, so you can progress. So basically, you are skipping Last Giant and all this Bastille thing, and you are trading it for going inside the DLC 1. DLC 1 have the Flings ring, which is the most broken thing in Dark Souls 2. For some coding reason, Flings ring gives you like basically 20% of damage increase, and it pays for like not having an upgraded weapon, and makes the route faster by like 2 minutes or so. But of course, you are increasing like a lot of resets and difficulty into the run.
Yeah, the 17K like glitch that you get from killing the Pursuer is like very precise, and you only get one shot at it, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a frame perfect thing basically, and you have one shot per new game. So yeah. Back in the day, we used a metronome to time the
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember like going in on a random DS2 speedrun stream, and there's just like metronome playing in the background constantly.
Yeah. So back in the day, we used a metronome, and nowadays, I don't know if you remember Lucida, the runner.
Yeah, I know Lucida.
Yeah, Lucida was doing SL1 all bosses speedrun, and by like some miracle. He was having fun, and oh dear. Okay, we're gonna have some fun. I would need to focus a little bit.
Okay. But Forlorn Invasion.
Yeah, but it's the up one. The up one should be fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna explain this first, and then I'll keep with the
okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So in the Scholar of the First Sin, they did a pretty neat addition of having a random invasion, random chance of Forlorn invading you at any point of the game. It's like a really low % chance, and as you can see, I got the invasion here. But yeah. So about the 17K, Lucida was doing a SL1 Albosses run, and like nothing related to the run. He was like running around, and he actually activated the trigger for the bird to carry Pursuer, and he just like dropped out of the arena, and he deloaded the area of the Pursuer, and he got the 17K. So of course people start to look for it, and they discover the Lucida 17K glitch, which is pretty much a really confier method of doing 17K.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I said I wasn't aware of an easier method for doing the 17K glitch. I guess that's helpful.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I mean, it's still difficult. Like, it's kind of like when I was in a good shape, I could get like 70-80% of the runs with 17K.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but like compared to the 10-20% with the metronome, it was amazing, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but still, it's still a hard trick. So that was the first Lord. It was the Rotten. He is a Lord, and he gives you a lot of souls. And as I said on the beginning of the run, I will be farming Rottens. I will be using Bonfire Ascetics to basically fight Rotten over and over again. Regal, you have any?
Is this a good time for some announcements?
Yes, this is the perfect time for some announcements.
My favorite. I love doing announcements. Okay, so go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out this season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. Also, we will be live with our AAPI celebration here on Games Done Quick this May 3rd and 4th. Celebrate AAPI Heritage Month with a weekend full of Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners. Use !AAPI in chat for more info. And back to you, Nick.
Yeah. So
now, what is going on here?
Yeah, here is like to finish Dark Souls 2, you need to use a branch of yore. Like, it's the only place you need to use a branch of yore to finish the run. Branch of yore is a key item that unpetrify some NPCs and mobs, and this room is basically a trap. So as soon as you pull the lever, it opens like 4 cages with some of these ogres, and they poison you really fast. So I used alluring schools, of course, to bait those ogres, and it's like no worry at all. But yeah,
it's always like confuses me the differences between Scholar and the original, because I feel like I have more experience with the original, but then I have a little bit of experience with Scholar, and they like are both like messing with my head, like which one is on which version of the game. Like, I'm always confused about it. Like, is this a Scholar thing or is this a vanilla thing? I don't think that enemy, like, do you have to unfreeze her on vanilla?
You do. You actually do.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, like, is it like this on both versions? I can never remember.
Yeah, this is in both versions. For you in chat who don't know, Regal did a really good grind of any percent old patch in Dark Souls 2 Vanilla. He's really talented. He got really good times, but in the run that he did, we had.
You just skipped right past that. Yeah.
Yeah, you had.
Yeah, you skipped right past that.
You had the branch skip.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's what it was. That's what I was skipping this whole time. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I see. In the 80% run.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Yeah, and in Vanilla, actually, it's way worse because the closest branch is so far away from where I went through that makes it much more needed in Vanilla to do a branch skip. But yeah.
Shout out to that run. That's like my favorite 80% run.
Yeah.
I've run 80% for like almost every single Souls game, and DS2 has the most fun run, in my opinion, out of all of them.
Oh, that's amazing to hear.
Like, Bino boosting is so cool. I wish this game had Bino boosting, but no.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's one day I was like, when I was a little bit bored with the game, and I was like kind of sad with it. I went to bed thinking about the Bino boost, and I actually dreamed that I found the Scholar version of Bino Boost. And as soon as I wake up, I had the realization that it was all a dream. And I was sad, like straight
that's
up, I was sad.
Yeah, that's so sad. So if anyone doesn't know, Bino boosting is like this really wacky movement tech in the vanilla Dark Souls 2, like on the old patch of the game. You can go so fast and it looks so goofy, but it's really fun to do. And not even that hard either.
Yeah.
Sadly, this game doesn't have it.
So she is not giving me the best RNG ever. But doesn't matter. I hope she does a tail attack. I want to show the AI freeze. Yeah, but not gonna happen. Gonna have to finish it without the freeze, but that's okay. So currently we are moving to Tseldora. It's the area of the game. It's the classic Dark Souls area that you get lots and lots of upgrading material, and coincidentally, you can get ascetic as well. So this area is perfect. It's enough to get you a +10 weapon and a bonfire ascetic. So basically, someone inside from software was like, I'm gonna make the life of the speedrunners easy. Because this is a scholar only thing. In vanilla, you cannot get a +10 weapon just coming here. And which makes some routes in vanilla really painful. For example, vanilla Old Souls, basically you have a +7 weapon, no status, and you are just running around with low HP, low damage, low resources.
I want to say, by the way, the crystal lizards in this game are extremely annoying to kill. They are so rough to kill. This weapon probably makes it a lot better because of the overhead.
Yes.
But some weapons are like really annoying to take care of them.
Yeah. So mace for a Gods and Grace does have the running attack, which staggers, stuns the lizard for a bit, and is enough for you to do a second hit. This is mostly enough to kill most lizards of the game. You may be missing a hit in the DLC ones, but most of the lizards in the game get killed with 2 hits by the mace.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it's a plus Nora mace, which makes everything so much better. Here is the congregation. You may know this fight as one of the easiest fight in the Dark Souls 2, but in a speedrun, competitive, like a high level speedrun where you are using RTSR, you're gonna get killed with 1 shot. So this is not the case, but this fight is a little bit hard as well. You need to have control from the position of every single mob, bait some attacks. And I'll be using a luring school here to bait the mobs. And in the mid time, I will be facing the main enemy in the area.
Oh yeah, is that the claymore that you're using?
Yeah.
Or a bastard sword? It's a claymore?
It's a claymore. Yeah. So this is the...
I could see that helping a lot, because hitting these enemies with the S-stock, or the rapier, I guess you're using,
Yeah.
it's pretty annoying.
It's the only time that we use the claymore. It's just to clear this area. Like, it's you get it in the same shop that you get the GPRs. So it's basically why not get it as well? It makes this fight much easier.
The gold pine.
Yeah, the
gold pine resin.
Yeah, gold pine resin. So here I'll be getting this safety bonfire just because I don't want to miss a lizard and not have the upgrading materials. But yeah,
Right, you can't just quit out and reset the lizard.
no, you cannot.
It's like, man, this game is so, like, as someone that has, like, played Dark Souls 1 and the other ones, like, stuff like that is like, why? It's so annoying. I can't
Yeah.
just quit out to reset the lizard.
Yeah. So, and this next one, lizard, is the most hard one. You can just, like, go behind the wall, lock him, and just normal running attacks. But it's safer to, in my opinion, it's better if you just go. Here I did a trick that it's called jetpack.
I saw that. That was cool.
That was cool, right?
Some movement.
Yeah.
Some movement, man.
Yeah, it's called...
Dark Souls 2, it's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, this trick is actually called jetpack because of me, but like, not that I discovered the thing, but when I first did this, like, it was an accident. Nobody told me about it, and I did it in the middle of a race, and I was so amazing seeing this thing, and it's named jetpack because I was like, dude, my character is lighted like CJ in GTA with the jetpack, and so it's called jetpack because of it.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
And then people start calling Nick Jetpack, and I was like, dude, I didn't discover it. But yeah. So now I have a +10 rapier and one extra bonfire ascetic. I already used one after killing a rotten. I burned it. So the area is already New Game Plus. Now I have a ascetic to put in New Game Plus 2, and here in Los Bastille is the quickest extra one in the game to get to New Game Plus 3. Here I'll be doing a door skip.
like-
It's a precise jump, but not much to worry
Nice.
about.
So, like, this whole, like, section right here is just, like, getting ascetics and upgrading your weapon, basically.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, brother. Give it a funniest name, yeah. Okay. This next fight is the Sentinels. It's one fight that I always love to show in the marathon and etc. Because this fight, if you do normal progression in the game, this could be your third boss. And this is a 3v1 fight. It shouldn't be your third fight, honestly. Like, you don't have a strong enough weapon to fight them. And now with a +10, it's no breeze. But like, it's a breeze actually. But without it, would be really hard.
Just being able to take them out to where you're only fighting one at a time is, like, a huge difference.
Yeah. Some categories, like all bosses, where you have like full gear facing the Sentinels, you basically can kill the first one, and the second one is not even turned on. Like, the AI didn't turn on yet. So Pseudo Stripey did a strat where as soon as he finishes the first, he shoots the third, so like he can fight two at the same time. It was really amazing seeing this. Yeah, but at any percent, you just like have one after the other.
It still seems pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So here is a good time if you have any announcements, Regal.
Sure. Yeah, I can get one more.
Controller disconnected.
All right, so Black in a Flash is returning with an event for Juneteenth from June 20th to 22nd. To learn about how to join the Black in a Flash community and submit your runs, visit gdq.gg/BAF. And other than that, make sure you stay tuned for after the run because we have another show coming on, another speedrun show called Think Fast, a speedrunning quiz show. And looks like you're having a fun time in there, Nick. Back to you.
Yeah, my muscle memory went like... I lost my muscle memory for a bit.
You said your controller got disconnected right when I started doing announcements.
I felt like I pushed the Type-C cord a little bit harder and it disconnected, but like it was okay. But then in the middle of the thing, my muscle memory went away, and I was like, should I go to the upper floor?
Sometimes that just happens.
Yeah. But now it's the most RNG heavy part of this run. I will be fighting Rotten over and over again.
This is the show right here.
Yeah.
This is the cinema.
This is where the runner cries and nobody sees. Because in a grind you could be like a minute ahead, and if Rotten's the side, you live here plus 20. So yeah, what we want to see is a lot of like sword attacks. A puke is really good. We don't want to see backwalking and neither explosions. Everything other than that is super fine. Side bash.
I do like that you can
favorite.
Cut his hands off. I do like that.
Yeah, so we are cutting his hand because we have like a better spacing during the fight. Like it's much safer to be around Rotten when he doesn't have his weapon, and also it's a really good time to punish because in Dark Souls 2 we love to do counter hits, and when he's like in the stunned animation, like, oh my god, I'd lose my hand, and you can like just punish with counter hits. And fun fact, you can cut both of his hand off, and the left one, where he doesn't have a weapon, drops you a Pharaoh's Lock Stone, which is like a
oh really? I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a progression item, so it's a really good thing to have in mind. So here...
Yeah, it makes sense.
Go on, Rigo.
I was just saying it makes sense. You have better spacing. Like if you could cut off your opponent's hand in a boxing match, that would probably be advantageous for you.
Yeah. So here I'm fighting Rotten plus 2. So basically this is a New Game plus 2 boss, and I have like 14 vigor. So if he hits me, you know that my HP will be really low.
Like one shot you?
Yeah, and it will get even worse because now it's Rotten 4. But get know that every time that I increase the new game, the souls that he gives me increases a lot. So you may see that I have 400,000 souls, and I'll be fighting Rotten 4. And Rotten 4 itself is like alone is the biggest part of the soul. So yeah, it's a really good thing to notice that I cannot get hit, neither grabbed, and I hope that I don't get screwed with it.
I wonder how tanky he is. I'm excited to see this damage.
Yeah. Come on, brother. Overhead. Yes.
Ooh, he's a healthy boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so this mash, this attack that he just did, is one of the worst attacks ever. Because when he's backwalking, he can just like point blank do his mash, and you are like, or you react fast enough, or you are dead. But here I'm already have the fight under control. Oh no, the instant jinx!
No.
Yeah, okay. No. I'll have to grab my souls, don't die, and fight him again. The instant jinx, dude. Oh no.
Classic. Should not have said anything. Honestly, it's funny when you say it.
Yeah.
I always jinx myself because it's funnier when it happens. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how you farm clips.
Yeah. So now I can't die, and I need to grab my souls. I will not have bright bug, so my damage will be worse. But here I'll be grabbing my souls because if I die again, I don't want to lose everything.
Oh yeah, you're out of bright bug.
Yeah, the damage will be worse, but the fight's still the same.
How much is the damage buff? Is it 20%?
Yeah, 20%.
Okay.
I feel like there is something odd. I guess I didn't unequip the claymore or something because my character is not having the light row, but that's fine. I have less iframes, I guess. Nah, everything is fine. Okay, the explosion. Yeah, so you know how like we are having basically everybody is in the Dark Souls 2 community is playing the randomizer, the enemy item randomizer.
The permadeath randomizer. Mm-hmm.
When I have good runs, and I of course die, people say that I'm farming views because I'm having like the most busted gear ever, and I still managed to lose it. Yeah, the same feeling.
I've been doing some permadeath stuff for DS1, and like I've had to unlearn like some speedrunner things, like because you play so much riskier, like doing a speedrun, and then you're switching to like a permadeath run. It's like, oh, I should probably like not just try to do these insanely fast like every time.
Yeah, you were doing how's it called? It's the you equip what you get, right?
Use what you get.
Yeah.
It's Dark Souls 1 item and enemy randomizer, full shuffle key items with use what you get, and it is very brutal.
Yeah, I imagine.
Brutal. The DS2 one just looks like goofy though.
Yeah, we don't have the you use what you get part, but it's
it seems hard enough even without that though.
Yeah, I don't know if you know about the ice horses in DLC.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
so basically they are everywhere.
Yeah.
You have
not scaled either, right?
Yeah, no scaling. So you basically since the DLC enemies are like variants of the same enemy, like you have a soldier with rapier, soldier with lance, soldier with two weapons, and they count like each variance counts as one type of enemy. So you have more chances of having DLC enemies in normal maps than like normal enemies. So it's like a complete madness in some areas. Okay, so here is the shrine that I mentioned at the start of the run, that you can either have 1 million soul memory, that's what I have, and or you kill the 4 lords, which I didn't. And funny enough, there is a different animation for those 2 actions. If you have 1 million soul memory, your character opens the gate with his hands, and if you have killed the 4 lords, the gate opens itself. So it's a really neat thing.
I don't think I've ever actually gotten through the Shrine of Winter with the soul requirement myself.
Yeah.
I guess most people don't. Just speedrunners, mostly.
Yeah. So here is the Drengley Castle. It's one of my favorite areas in the game. Here is, I don't want to spoil much again, but here is where we fight the final boss. But unfortunately, we have to gather some items before fighting the final, some story items before fighting the final boss. What I like about this part is that it's filled with like puzzle things. So those giants, they activate when you kill an enemy, and they absorb the soul from the enemy and they get activated. Dude, I got headshot. Oh my god. Yeah.
I think DS2 has some good ideas going for it. There's a lot of good things about this game. I'd say the main reason that I don't play it as much is because the movement in this game is so weird for me as someone that has played a lot of DS1.
Oh,
It just feels so odd.
Yeah, I know what you mean about it. It's
I
the dead
think
zones, right?
that's why yeah, and well, even just like trying to like pivot on your attacks. Like if you attack forward and you try to aim it like behind you, like your character barely like moves at all. It's just like these tiny little things like that feel so weird. I think that's why I like the 80% run so much too, because you just like bypass the normal movement by bino boosting everywhere.
Yeah,
You have like your own special movement.
yeah,
But it's actually a really good game.
yeah. I don't know why, but I prefer the Dark Souls 2 movement over the other ones because I don't know. I feel that I have a better control of my character.
There is a thing like you honestly have like a little too much control of your character in the other ones where it's like a little harder to precisely move.
Yeah, I can just like about this. I cannot walk straight and like straightforward in Dark Souls 3 at all. My character is always
Dude,
like moving.
You should try it in DS1. Walking straight in Dark Souls 1 is like legitimately extremely difficult. Like it's a skill
Yeah,
that it takes like hours to get good at walking straight in that game, especially Prepare to Die edition.
yeah. I imagine. It's funny because in Demon Souls, I didn't felt like that difference. Like I felt that the movement was like as free as like the other ones, but not that much. So it was really good for me.
Demon Souls is like has a lot of DNA with Dark Souls 1, but it still feels like different. The movement, it's not exactly the same.
So here is the first 2v1 boss fight. I'm gonna shoot the upper one so he gets baited into the bottom floor. Fortunately, he don't have this much HP, so I can just like finish with a combo. And now the fight is basically a 1v1. Not much to worry about. Just running away from this enemy to make him lower the shield.
Yeah. I want to say this weapon is like busted.
Yeah.
It's so much damage.
Yeah.
And you can get it like right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, this weapon is really good. The rapier itself, the rapier and basically every other single rapier in the game is really good. The only one that it falls a little bit like behind, it's the S-stock because of like it is a little bit longer, so it has like it have a better hitbox, like it reaches a little bit longer. But the speed and the damage is not the greatest. So, and you can get it from the same NPC where you get the rapier. So why would you get an S-stock when you have the rapier, right?
Yeah, like this thing is so good.
Yeah.
There's other like really good weapons that you can get later on, but like just right at the beginning, like you can just get a rapier.
Yeah, there is Dark Souls 2, in my opinion, have one thing that I love so much. And it is that like every weapon in the game is viable. Like it's not like other games where no matter what you are watching, who you are watching, it's always the same weapon. But in Dark Souls 2, every weapon can be powerful enough to finish the game, like no worry at all. Like even the dagger, like it's a really good weapon. You can do like a really good time with one of the worst weapons in the game. I actually did a 80% run with dagger, and it was like close to an hour. It was really good. Like,
Yeah, I definitely like have had the experience. There's a lot of just like chaff when it comes to weapons in the other games. It's just like this does not feel super good. There's some things that are like so much obviously better than a lot of these random weapons.
So about the run, now I'm going through the whole castle. Up top of the elevator, there is a room with a side quest character that a few people know about, But inside this room, there is a key item called Key to the King's Passage, if I remember correctly, that allows me to open the door to continue going through the game. Yeah, so unfortunately, there is no way to escape the door, neither the elevator. But yeah. Broken Straight Sword % win. Soon. I would do it. So yeah, you just grab the key and leave. So this is what I was talking about, the side quest. There is you can get a keyblade later in the game, and you use it to open this and free the character, the NPC. But makes no sense. The keyblade that I was mentioning, it's the key to the embedded. It's one of the craziest weapon in the game. You get it by just killing a boss, and it's a key item, but it's also a weapon, and it have better stats than the rapier that I'm using already. Like, so why would you leave it? Like, no, I want to use it. Here is the Mirror 9. It's one of my favorite boss fights in the game.
This is a cool boss.
Yeah. Did you know that this is a PvP boss?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever actually got a PvP fight in this, but yeah, he can slam down his shield, and he does like a special animation for it and summons in like extra enemies for the fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's my dream. Like I like those events where people, we are going back to Dark Souls 2. Like it's season. Yeah. So every time I try to snipe someone and invade it during a stream or something, but I never managed to get a successful invasion.
Wow. Unlucky.
Yeah.
There is I don't know how many people know about it, but one of my favorite details about that Mirror Knight fight is from the original. In the original patch, which I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The audio for the lightning attack is just completely like not the same as your normal like audio settings. It just completely ignores it, and it plays like the loudest thing you've ever heard whenever he does this lightning attack. It is unbelievably loud, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Nubist will be doing like runs at like Souls Charity Marathon, and that goes off, and everybody in the audience like, what was that?
Yeah.
What was that super loud lightning attack? It is so funny every time.
Yeah, I do love it about it as well. Unfortunately, they removed it in later patches.
Too bad.
Yeah. But it wasn't one of my favorite things. Like every time that I'm running old patch and I'm getting close to Mirror Knight, and I'm like, guys, there is a neat thing about this fight. You should pay attention really closely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pay attention very close. Turn up your audio on your headphones.
Yeah, if you don't turn it up, you're gonna lose it. So make sure to put it on 100%.
No, don't do that. You might damage someone's ears. It's so loud.
It's so loud, yeah. So
this is a fun area.
Yeah, I will be focusing a little bit, and I need to listen the soul arrows to dodge it.
Okay.
But it's a breeze, actually. I'm already...
It's a breeze. It's so easy.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
I don't want to jinx myself again. So I will say...
I'll just do it for you.
I will say nothing until I pass that fog gate. But, yeah. It's going. I don't want to say it.
Yeah. It's going.
It's going. Oh.
Ooh, here's the...
Yeah.
Nice.
It's okay.
Okay. Dark Souls 2 Fogwall is very scary.
Yeah, dude, I wish we had the iframes, but yeah, we were not blessed. So this area, it's Shrine of Amana, is one of the worst areas in the game, like for the player, and one of the best areas in the game for the viewer, because usually you have some like a scream or like a reset or a good reaction from the runner. And but yeah, thankfully it didn't happen to me.
Nick's just too good. No problem.
So yeah, this is Demon of Song, one of my favorites.
I feel like in the relay races that we do for the marathons, someone always dies in Shrine of Amana.
Yeah.
Like always. And then it just resets who's in the lead. Like it happens every year.
Yeah, back in the day when we did races, we used to call it the Great Equalizer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how far you were ahead, you always get like close or behind whoever is close to you.
It's like clockwork every year. Somebody dies, and then like the lead changes.
Yeah. So that was Shrine of Amana, and now we are entering the deepest part of the castle. It's called Undead Crypt. You will know soon why it's called Undead Crypt, but it's a little neat area in Scholar because it felt like they decided to make it like a puzzle part of the game. So there is like you shouldn't light a torch. There is an NPC that says that do not produce light, because if you do, you're gonna aggro some enemies, and you probably don't want to do it. And there is also like some enemies that will snipe you. They will try to summon another enemies. There's a lot of stuff that might happen here.
Okay. Yeah, there's some annoying enemy placements, definitely.
Yeah. And you should realize that this is a Scholar only, by the way. In vanilla, the area is basically empty.
Yeah.
This one with the witches do have the witches, but like much safer. I used the bright bug. The bright bug lasts for 2 minutes, and I used it like way early because I want to save time. But
that lasts so long.
Yeah, 2
it's such a long amount of time.
Yeah, it's enough. It's enough.
Like usually a longer lasting buff would be like 90 seconds. Like 2 minutes is like so much.
Yeah. Here was supposed to be a maze, I guess, but you just run through it. No worries.
It's a maze for me. I get lost running through here, especially in the next area. After you drop down here, this is where I get lost.
Yeah. But as I said, it's really straightforward. Like, should be.
Well, I hope so. Like, as someone that speedruns the game as much as you, Nick, I hope you know where you're going.
Yeah, there was once that I hit my mouse while dropping, and I was completely lost. But but nothing to worry about. Yeah, you can basically ignore all the enemies and just run to the fog gate. In vanilla, this area is filled with soldiers, and it's a little bit harder to enter, but nothing to worry about. Now we are fighting Valstad, which is basically the last...
This is a cool fight.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites from this run. Oh, I got blocked by the pillar. It's basically the final guard of the crypt. But thankfully, he buffs mid-fight, and you can punish him while buffing. So makes the fight a little bit underwhelming. And now you know that it's called Crypt because the king itself is hollow and is inside the crypt. And now you just leave. He's a boss, but we don't need to fight him in any percent.
Yeah, you just need the ring.
Mm-hmm. We grab the king's ring. It's a ring that allows you to open some gates in the game, and those gates basically prevent you from progressing. So yeah, makes sense that we need the king's ring. I'm equipping it. And
So,
go on.
how much of all this stuff would you be able to just completely bypass in the like unrestricted category?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I always like this is a question that I used to get like when Dark Souls 2 had no glitches at all. I used to get the question like, what about glitches? Or what would break? So basically, I always replied, if there was a way to go through this gate without like having the King's Ring, it would break the whole thing. And funnily enough, people discovered the party walk, and the party walk allowed to skip this gate. And from that, the game was completely broken because this is the only gate that you need the King's Ring to open. This was the last one that like had no skips at all. So you go through Amana, Mirror Knight, Velstad to get the King's Ring, so you can enter this gate. Because all the other ones you were able to skip without glitches, just from like precise jumps and etc. So yeah, when the first flying glitch was discovered, it made the thing much
Saves like so much time, I imagine, just skipping that. And like the glitch name is very funny too, because it's Party Walk.
Yeah.
Which is a play on a glitch called a parry walk in the original Dark Souls 2, which is a part of that any percent run that I was talking about doing earlier. You parry walk. Well, they have a similar but not exactly the same version called a party walk. In Scholar, which I guess is like a typo. Is what it's supposed to be. A typo of parry walk.
It was a typo.
If you try to type on your phone like parry walk, it probably auto corrects to party or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Like I don't know precisely what caused the typo, but we were discussing the thing, and Doom 338 was like talking about the thing, and he typed parry walk and probably corrected to party walk. And we now call it party walk to differentiate as the parry walk.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Oh, a whiff. Oh, please don't meme me. I'm just a humble runner trying to do a cool run. Yeah. You choose the wrong move, brother. Yeah,
that boss can go wrong if is it like RNG or just like a mistake?
Yeah,
that can go really wrong.
The Guardian Dragon have a 10% chance of just as soon as you enter the fight, he just like fly up, and yeah. So that's already like 10 to 20 seconds of time loss, but he can do a lot of like odd things, but thankfully he didn't. Like it's kind of easy to control the fight, like as I kind of did, but you need to like hit 3 times in his head and go like to the right, so you bait like his turning animation and head attack, which is like it's okay. My nemesis, as I can say.
Oh yeah, so this is a funny area. Can you just skip this whole area in Scholar?
Oh yeah, you can.
With the zip line?
Yeah, you can. Oh, by the way, I want to show something really cool. Most people don't know about it. We have like, it's really quick. But this is Emerald Herald, the Firekeeper of Dark Souls 2. For some reason, this one has like a different type, a different pitch of voice. So I will show the clip. You may pay attention to it.
Of the curse. Long have I awaited one such as you. One bear.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel like they left it something like that it shouldn't be here. But yeah, her voice.
I'll have to go back and watch it because I can't hear it right now.
Yeah,
but I'll have to go back and watch the stream.
Yeah, her voice and
that's weird.
In only this interaction with her have a high pitched voice.
It's the fake Emerald Herald.
Yeah, but what we were talking about again, Regal? I'm sorry.
We're talking about skipping with the zip line. You skip the whole area. There's like this super annoying jump that you do in Vanilla to like save some time running through here, and you just hit a zip line and like skip the whole area.
So the thing that it's different in Scholar and Vanilla is that in Scholar they left the ladder already like triggered. In Vanilla you can drop the ladder, but I feel like they were messing around and like accidentally they left the ladder dropped. And
you think it's an accident?
Yeah, I feel like I imagine someone testing the area and like, oh no, I have to go all over ID again. Nah, let's drop the thing, and then they
just left it in.
Yeah, and they left it like they didn't fix it. I have no clue, Fingers. I feel like it's there is some beta version of Dark Souls 2 where you have Emerald Herald with different ages. So I guess it was supposed to be like, I feel like it's something related to it, but I feel like it should be like a younger version of Emerald that was cut off and something like that. But this is my imagination. It's not the truth. This is what I think it's the thing, and like nothing special about it. But yeah, now we are gonna travel back in time. We're gonna fight Giant Lord. That in lore is the same guy that we fought, the same boss fight, the first boss that we fought in this run, the last giant. Lore wise, he is the Giant Lord, and we're gonna go back in time to fight him in the past. It's a really good fight in current patch. In old patch is really painful, right, Rigo?
Well, I didn't do any of like the super optimized fights, so it was pretty chill for me, but I've seen like some of the advanced stuff that you would do going for record, and it does look annoying. The approach to the boss is honestly maybe the hardest part of the fight in old patch, 90% running up to him, and you need to like get up there fast enough to where the head hits him and all this stuff. Like, yeah, it's not too bad, but it is a little annoying. This looks great though. This looks like super nice.
Yeah, I didn't want to jinx, but there is a meme that can happen called paper wall, where the opener killed me, would kill me behind the wall, but thank God it didn't happen. Yeah, but in old
that
patches,
looks pretty comfy though.
Yeah, in old patch, this fight it's a trigger for me because I was getting the thing wrong, and nobody like, oh brother, you were doing this wrong, and I was like losing runs and I didn't know why. But yeah.
What is it? Because your approach to him was wrong?
Yeah, I was doing a line that wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are reaching the final fight. The saddest part of the run, for me at least, because it's
because it's over, or
because we are getting close to the goodbye, and I don't wanna leave you guys.
Sadly, the show must end at some point.
Yeah. But we are super strong. We are going through the Throne Duel in Nashandra fight. That is like straightforward as well. We just like dodge and poke with the rapier, do lots of damage.
This is also something very annoying in the true 80% run on vanilla. Basically, the true 80% run of vanilla, as soon as you start fighting stuff, it's like awful. As soon as you have to actually start killing things.
Should I try the waterfall?
If you want to.
Yeah, okay.
Go for it.
I will try a trick.
You ready to go for the waterfall?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I will try a really hard trick, guys, and I hope that I get it. If I don't, I will probably die, but it's no risk at all. I might miss it. I might not. I don't know. We're gonna see it. So basically,
there's a way. Yeah, go ahead and explain.
No. Go on.
Okay, so there's a way to get this enemy to fall,
please,
off the platform here. It's probably a lot harder to do without the Bino boost setup, but it's still very random. You can get the skinny one to just fall off the platform and remove him from the fight completely, which is like very important for the vanilla true any percent run. And you're handling it fine though.
Intended, by the way.
I respect trying to go for it.
Oh. Yeah, okay. That was a little bit odd, but that was fine.
You almost had it. It was kind of close.
Yeah, okay. So just rebuffing.
Usually the hard part is like the defender coming up and ruining the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like I was not in shape for doing it properly, but that's fine. So this is Nashandra, the last fight. I will be using life gems to bait the bean attack. It's way better to punish it. Gives you better counter hits window and keeps your life full, which in this fight is really important because she summons some dark orbs that removes your maximum HP bar. But yeah, that was the fight.
GG.
GG's. That's Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Thing, any percent restricted.
Is that time?
Time.
Nice. GG. Awesome run.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a really good run.
I think you had one death to random rotten
4.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got one shot.
Yeah, I got jinxed by myself, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as I said, no, it's fine. Boom.
That'll be a clip for sure.
Definitely.
You who link
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nick. Do you want to, give yourself your shout outs, tell everybody where they can find you, what you're up to, all that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. So, guys, I'm, as I said at the start of the run, I'm Nick Style. I'm mainly a Dark Souls 2 speedrunner. I mained this game for like 5 years now, and currently I'm doing the Dark Souls 2 Enemy and Item Randomizer Challenge. But it's in the middle of my final quest. I feel like my time for speedrunning is almost to the end. Oh no, but it's I wanna beat all my PBs, so it's not like I'm stopping speedrunning like tomorrow. No, it'll take like a year or two. So, but yeah, if you wanna watch Dark Souls 2 content like speedruns, challenges, and etc., you can find me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Nix_style. And if you are interested in speedrunning, not only Dark Souls 2, but any other Souls game like Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, from Software, of course, Sekiro, Bloodborne, etc., you may find a Souls speedrun community. There you will find guides, channels to talk with other runners and whatever you need. And yeah. Regal, I want to thank you so much for the invite to participating in this event. It's always a pleasure to be part of marathons, and yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Nick. It was a pleasure to have you on. That was so good. It was cool to chill and hang out and just talk about DS2 and all the interesting things that go on in this game. That was an awesome run. But that's going to be all for us tonight on Game Over. That was 2 really amazing runs, one by Mad Apocalypse running Dark Souls 3 all bosses at the beginning, and then this amazing run by Nick Style of Dark Souls 2 Scholar on the any percent restricted category.
Can I
but yeah, that's going to... Yeah, absolutely. Yo, go ahead.
I forgot to send a shout outs. I want to send a shout out, of course, first for you, Regal. And then I want to send a shout outs for all my Brazilian friends from AAC and all my Brazilian viewers. You guys are amazing. I would be nothing without you. And bora galera. Yeah, that was it. Sorry, Regal, for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. That's totally fine. Yeah, so Amazing show. Thank you so much for participating, Nick. Thank you so much, Matt, for participating. And make sure you stick around because we still have more speedruns to come up. We still have more GDQ Hotfix shows to come up. After this, we have Think Fast, which is the speedrunning quiz show. So stay tuned for that. And that's all for me. I'm Regal. I've been your host for Game Over. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.